Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I've got a wobbly stick. How are you all doing? We meet again on planet Earth, full of God's creatures. And today I have been shopping at the garden centre. We've got a fabulous garden centre here. The irony is, the reason my channel is called Avid Gardener is because plants die in my care. I'm just not very good at it. The sun here burns and burns in the summer, and when we're busy working I just don't have time to water the plants, so poor little things tend to burn alive. But I bought these guys. I'm really pleased. I'll just quickly show you these before we get into our chat. These particularly, now I got one of those lens things to identify, and apparently it's a Persian buttercup, and I bought one a couple of years ago and it burned to death. I thought it was dead. Then I watered it all the year, and last January it bloomed on New Year's Day, and I haven't seen it since, so I really hope that these guys can survive. Poor plants. Right, so I haven't done a video for a couple of days. Firstly, yesterday was the Princess of Wales' birthday, and I was determined not going to do any videos talking about you-know-who. So I've been watching loads and catching up on YouTube, and I found a particular, it's really weird actually, it's almost as if YouTube have suddenly taken the brakes off, and I'm seeing YouTubers that I've never seen before. I thought I was subscribed to everybody, apparently not. And there's a particular one, it's one of these AI voices, and they do pretty long videos. Well, the one I've just watched is long. I'll put a link in the description. Now, normally these ones with a sort of an AI voice, I just skip on because they bore me. But this one interests me because I think it's about an hour long, and it's very fast and very cleverly edited. And it's really summing up everything from the beginning of the story, from the engagement interview between Harry and Meghan. And largely I agree with all the way they've edited it together, and they demonstrate by showing like loads of clips of Meghan doing certain things to emphasise, why people have drawn certain conclusions. And as I've always said, body language is so important. Everybody is reading body language. We all do it all the time. So sometimes I look at people and I think, I don't really know why I don't gel with that person. But my psyche has obviously picked up on something that I'm not sure about. And that's how it was with Meghan in the beginning, apart from the two obvious comments of she'd never Googled Prince Harry, and she just had one question, is he nice? That one really always, I knew straight away, I do not like those things. But this video goes through very cleverly. And I mean, it's gripping. 50 minutes an hour sounds a lot. But when you watch it, it is fast, fast, fast. And it's almost like and they use clips from other YouTubers, the regular ones, Jesus, HG Tudor, Lady C, all of them. They use little bits. But they've basically amalgamated everything from the days of when I used to just watch Taz and Wally. And particularly Wally. Wally used to get video clips from other social media and analyse it and explain things, and it's kind of got me thinking, and this video is going to be a bit weird today, because yes, I've seen the backlash from the Golden Globes, and I mean, Meghan insider PR saying she was invited, she just had a prior engagement. Cover your ears, excuse me, fuck off. What prior engagement? And how was she invited when the cast of Suits said that they didn't have a number? She's not in the WhatsApp group. I mean, I don't know what person on planet Earth is supposed to believe that she had a more pressing engagement and didn't go, than she wasn't invited, or she was barred, or she couldn't face it. And the look on that guy's face from Netflix, what's he called? Todd Sarandis? Or, I don't know his name. It was really like, yeah, okay, guys. Okay, yeah. I've been a fool. I'm an idiot. Yeah, laugh at me. That was really the look on his face. that I've been watching and looking at the news. And don't get me wrong, I don't have sympathy. Well, I do and I don't. But it does begin to feel a little bit like a global pile-on one person. And despite the fact that person happens to be Meghan Markle, it just makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. And I've been thinking, why? And I think the conclusion I've come to is that really when all this started with watching Meghan, and I have had Meghan under a microscope, I have tracked her every move in the newspapers and the PR image. We were really all made to feel like the pariahs of society by a lot of others, weren't we? And yet now it's a global sport having a go at Meghan Markle. And I feel like saying to a lot of these people, these TV, like Hollywood, oh, now, where's the apology to all of us that were called trolls and bitches? Oh, and by the way, we were stupid, middle-aged, fat, low IQ, housewives, racists. Yeah, remember those days? And oh no, we forgot all about that. Oh no, now we're just joining in on the having a go at Meghan. And so part of me is, yes, I'm glad Hollywood has woken up, because she needs a wake-up call, and other people who walk this earth with us, who discovered many years ago that lying generally wins. I've met many people in my life. Lying wins. People just don't question what they say. My arresting officer, for a start, well, eventually he was arrested himself for perverting the course of justice, suspicion of perverting the course of justice, and he was fired from the police. But, there was never, oh, oopsie doodle, sorry about that. Okay, that's history. An ex-boyfriend of mine, an absolute pathological liar. If you asked him what day of the week it was, you would have to check. Lunatics that have come passing through my family, not that I'm related to, not family members, but people that my family have been victim to, outright liars. And so Meghan, for me, was always going to be the patron saint of this type of person. And I thought, hopefully, people who go through life thinking it's okay, we all lie. Well, I've lied. No, I don't believe you can get from birth to death without at least telling one little white lie. None of us are perfect, but some people make an absolute profession out of it, and they tell whoppers. I mean, whoppers. We had some people in our lives who used to like to attack us, and then they would go running off to everybody else and accuse us of doing the very thing that they themselves had done. And you would be surprised how many people would just take them on face value and believe them. It's incredible. I think that's one of the reasons I always say in my videos, don't take my word for anything. Double check everything I say, because I may have got it wrong, or I might be lying, or I might be full of shit. Always double check what everybody's saying. But it does begin to feel, and I haven't heard anything from Wally. I had a couple of text messages over Christmas. She's okay. But it does kind of feel like every man and his dog and cat and hamster are jumping on a bandwagon now. I hate to sound like Christopher Boozy, but it does. And a lot of these people were people who were like, oh, you middle-aged fat white housewife women, you racist women, you white privilege and all this shit. Are any of them going to say, sorry, there was a time when we believed, there was a time when we supported, you guys were right. You guys, a lot of you guys have been on this journey from the very beginning. At what point is Wally going to get her original channel back? At what point is YouTube going to go, oh, right, okay. At what point is Ellie Hall going to say, maybe Meghan wasn't quite as nice? Or is it just going to be a general global pile-on Meghan Markle? And even for Meghan, that is a hell of a lot for one human being to take. And it does begin to feel like a witch hunt against Meghan, just because it seems popular. Do you see what I mean? It seems a popular thing to do, as opposed to us in this community who have had people like this in our lives, and we just want it to stop. We want people to, generally speaking, tell the truth, act decently, for the media to stop manipulating things and bullshitting and lying through their teeth at us all of the time about just about everything. I don't know. This is a weird sensation for me. You're probably all going to think I'm going to turn into a sugar, which I am not. I am here to the bitter end. I've made that clear from the beginning. I will never forget what they did to Wally. I will never forget that Meghan had that bastard Christopher Boozy on her show, and he is a bastard. Check out, all you have to do is go on Google and look up Christopher Boozy, Yankee Wally, and all the historical tweets will come up. For those out there in any doubt, which I know a lot of you guys are not, but let's say some journo comes along and wants to jump on it. Just try Googling Christopher Boozy, Yankee Wally. You will see. Try Googling Sarah Data, Yankee Wally, and you will see. And it's not just Wally. I mean, Sue Smith lost her channel at one point. She was doxxed horribly. Duchess of Sussex, her name up there on the Harry and Meghan Netflix show. We were all part of a cult, like terrorists and death threats. Well, I'm pretty sure that I have never issued a death threat to anybody on the internet, whereas the sugars, they've had plenty death threats, and a lot of us. Are Hollywood going to talk about that? Or is the only aspect that Hollywood like is that it gets clicks, it gets likes, therefore it can be translated into money? Because it does begin to feel like that. Or are they actually going to scrutinise it? Is anyone ever going to make a movie about this nightmare? I hope that people out there who lie for a living, and not just lie to get themselves out of shit, but lie when there's nothing in it for them other than to create shit for somebody else. I hope that people who live their lives in that manner look at Meghan and think, God, I'm glad I'm not her today, because this is really bad. It feels like it to me, and I'm a critic of hers. It feels like the whole planet is against one woman. Now, that one woman has brought all of this on herself. But there's a difference between critics like us who have been analysing what the hell's going on and how the audiences are being manipulated, and people who just jump on the back of it because they just want to be part of the crowd. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, this is my January. I hate January, actually. Every year I get really depressed. I hate New Year's Eve. January is normally a month just full of misery and depression. So this year I thought, no, I'm going to change my biorhythm. And so that's why I wanted to get on with the boat roof and do something positive and buy some plants. And I cut all my hair off the other night as well. I do that in January's. You can probably look back. I bet I did that last year and the year before. In fact, once. One time I did it, and then I noticed it hadn't grown for about 18 months. It just hadn't gotten any longer. That was weird. I think someone was poisoning me, actually, at that point. I'm not joking. No one in my family. And yes, it was to do with a couple of lunatics we used to have in our lives years ago. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to a positive January. We've been to the hospital today for Graham's first checkup, and he is still all clear. He's doing fantastically well. And the initial guy that we saw, where I was like horrified, oh my God, what do they want to do? It was really lovely actually to see him and be with him, and for him to be like, you did it. And spectacular guy, actually. Boy, what a job they have. What a job indeed. So those are my thoughts and opinions for today. I don't know, what do you think? Do you feel like this is a good thing? Or is there any part of you that's thinking, where were all these people when we needed them a year ago? Oh, now they join in. Do you know what I mean? And where is it going to end? Why is her bio still on the website? You know, if that was just the bio was removed, that would be something. I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and as always,